I have created a market Cipher B strategy that is so easy to use and it is very highly profitable and it happens all the time and you don't need any technical analysis. Yes, you heard that correctly. Guys, if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're returning, you should know that what we're talking about is the cheat sheet entry. Also because it's in the title, so spoiler alert. But today we're talking about cheat sheet entries and we're going to clarify a couple questions because some people are still not quite understanding it and y'all are making it complicated and it doesn't need to be complicated and we're going to go over it, okay? The first thing that you will need for this video is Market Cipher B. It is a premium indicator and I have to say there are free versions of it. However, as you know, I always say money flow is king and no other indicator that is a knockoff of Market Cipher B quite has the money flow down the way that Market Cipher does. And this specific strategy, it will be impacted if you do not have accurate money flow. Okay, so full disclaimer there. If you're interested in it, I do have a discount code and a referral link down below as well. First things first is longs and shorts are going to be the complete opposite. We're going to be talking about longs today because we had a couple of cheat sheet entry longs that we could have taken today and we did take today and we were profitable today. Okay. But when it comes to the shorts, just do the exact opposite. But let's go over the 4 conditions that must be met for it to be a valid cheat sheet entry. The first condition is we need thick green money flow. When we're looking for longs, we're looking for thick green money flow. And you can see on the bottom here that I labeled it out. So number 1, we have thick green money flow. Thick is subjective, guys. We do know that money flow is relative to its previous point in time. This could also have been considered thick money flow. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, to the 60 line or whatever. So, just use your discretion on it. This could be thick green money flow, right? You got to use your discretion on it. However, when it comes to the money flow, you do need to be paying attention to what money flow in its previous point in time was doing. Let me give you an example of that. Right now, the money flow, as you can see, technically is coming down. Okay, so if price made a higher high, which it did, as of right now, this is technically a bearish divergence when it comes to the money flow. This is something that is to be considered when it comes to your cheat sheet entries. All right. Number 2 is your green dot must be below your Market Cipher B 0 line. So this is the 0 line. You can see the numbers here from -100 to 100, and this is the 0 line. Whenever the green dot is below the 0 line, it can be considered a cheat sheet entry. The thing with this is the deeper it is, while money flow remains thick, the stronger of a cheat sheet entry you will have, the stronger move you will have, because remember, these are momentum waves. The deeper the momentum wave goes, the more time it has to go up. It's like a trampoline. The harder it falls, the harder it'll bounce. Okay? That's something to consider as well. Now, when the momentum waves get very close to the -60 line or whatever the case is, we got to be watching internally what the money flow is doing. Here in this little section, money flow was also decreasing. So that is going to come into play when we're talking about where our targets are for our cheat sheet entries. All right. Number 3, prices retracing into the 50 EMA, preferably with red or pink vector candles. Guys, if you don't have this indicator, it's called TR main, Trader's Reality Main. I'm not going to go over the indicator right now. We're not going to go over vector candles right now. I do have other tutorials on it, but you are going to need to download this and you're going to need to know it. So let's talk about this, right? So here on the 3-minute time frame, we do have price coming down into the 50 EMA. Now, a couple things I want to note. Number 1, it is allowed to break the 50 EMA. No problem, okay? It's allowed to do so as long as it gives us a nice reaction back into it. Number 2, the 50 EMA on Trader's Reality Main gives you this sort of purple cloud, as you can see. This cloud acts as a support and resistance. So don't think of the 50 EMA necessarily as just a line. Think of it as an area, okay? Also, very important when it comes to the cheat sheet entries. And it must return into the 50 EMA with a red or pink vector candles, which are bearish vector candles. We're not going to go into vector candles again today, but just know we do need the red or the pink vector candles coming into it for it to be a valid setup, because we know market makers will very likely come back for that liquidity. Okay. Number 4, a hidden bullish divergence with momentum, money flow, and or the VWAP. And this is in regards to Market Cipher B. Now, I, most of the time, will just look at the momentum waves, and most of the time that is good enough. However, the really strong moves will give you hidden divergences with money flow, with the momentum waves, and with the VWAP. And if we look here, these are all 4 of these conditions were met when it comes to this entry. Okay, we had the cloud, or we had thick green money flow. We had our green momentum wave coming below the 0 line. We had price coming back in to retest the 50 EMA with a red vector candle, although I would like to see more vectors coming into it. However, it is still valid. We had a nice bounce off of this zone, and then we continued higher. Okay, so this is a picture perfect cheat sheet entry. Now, I want to say in our Discord, we do have a cheat sheet entry section where we call these out to other members in the VIP Discord. The VIP Discord is free to get in as long as you DM my bot over here, the 4-digit code at the end of every video. The first two digits for this code, my goodness, I am absolutely stumbling my words today. I was in New York and lost my voice, whatever. The first 2 digits we'll make are 17, okay? So write that down, and at the end of the video, once you get the other 2, make sure you join the VIP Discord so you can join the callouts for the cheat sheet entries. But let's continue. So this was a very good example of a cheat sheet entry. Now, where do you put your stop loss and where do you put your take profits? Well, the first take profit should be very obvious, and it should be the high of the move. Okay, so in this case, if we took the trade, we would have been profitable because we took the high of the move, right? Now, how do you know when to get out? And how do you know where to put your stop loss? Well, I'll tell you this. Your stop loss goes under the low, okay? This works on all time frames. I do like it on the 3-minute time frame, but it works on all time frames, right? So your stop loss goes below the low. In this case, if you put the low, if you entered anywhere after the green dot printed, anywhere in this zone here, you put your stop loss under the low, you would have been in profit. You would have hit at least your take profit 1. You can get out of the entire trade if you decide to, but I'm going to show you another way that you can get out without doing technical analysis, okay? So that's how you can enter, and that's where you put the stop loss. Now, you can front run the green dot, okay? You absolutely can do that, but you need to be careful because it can get a little bit risky when you do that. That's for more experienced traders. I don't recommend it for newcomers. I recommend it when you see the confirmations and after the candle is printed, then you can enter. So you would have entered somewhere around here, put your stop loss below there, and we would have had a successful trade. All right. How do you know when to get out? Well, if you already hit your take profit or you didn't, and you're looking to get out, you can get out by following market structure, which was my last video. So make sure you go watch that on your intraday timeframes, on your like very smaller timeframes, right? You can watch market structure, and when you see a bearish change of character or a break of structure, you can get out. But if you don't even want to go into that much detail, the way that you can get out is by looking for the first divergence on the time frame that you entered. Okay? Especially on the lower term time frame. So here, because this was a high, we have clearly a bearish divergence, right? We made a new high. We had a bearish divergence with the momentum. We have a bearish divergence with money flow in this instance here with these ones. So now we know it's probably a good time to take profit if you haven't already done so, or get out of the trade completely. And this is something that you're monitoring. As soon as you're taking the high, you're already going to start looking for divergences naturally. Okay, that doesn't mean it can't continue upwards. Of course it can. We know how Bitcoin can move, but it is something to be aware of, right? That is one way to exit the trade. Now, a couple of things I want to mention here. If your 3-minute, for example, cheat sheet entry fails you, where you get a green dot, you might enter, you might get stopped out, and then it gives you a red dot, move to a higher term time frame, okay? Because if your 3-minute failed you, the 5-minute could still have very thick money flow, and you could have entered. Now, this is the exact same cheat sheet, obviously on a different time frame, but you move to the higher term time frame. So if the next couple of waves here gives us like downwards movement, which it may, and then we don't have a cheat sheet entry on the 5-minute time frame, but on the 15-minute time frame, for example, we may, because on the 15-minute time frame, those same waves down will look something like this, right? Let's say money flow continues higher. Then you can still enter even though your smaller term time frames are not giving you cheat sheet entries. So cheat sheet entries are not exclusive to just the lower term time frames, right? You can catch these on higher moves, and it's actually better on the higher moves because obviously they will give you a higher, generally like the higher term time frames will give you a larger move. But it's also easier to front run the larger term time frames than it is the smaller term time frames. Of course, we actually might be having a cheat sheet entry forming literally right now as we're doing the video. The more of these conditions that are met, the stronger the move and the stronger the confidence that you can have. The only two that are absolutely non-negotiable is the money flow must be green and the green dot must be below the zero line. Otherwise, it is not a cheat sheet entry. No way. I will never consider it one. You can still trade them, but we do not put our stop loss below the low like that. We do not target the high like that. These are all conditions of a cheat sheet entry, and those two rules, which are why they're labeled 1 and 2, must be respected. The red vector candles are preferable, and this is a very strong confluence. Like, I probably wouldn't even enter if I didn't see 1, 2, and 3. Fourth is really kind of up in the air, but it does, of course, help give extra confluence. Okay, guys, I hope that helped clear up the cheat sheet entry. It's very, very easy to understand. It's very easy to follow. People don't know where to put their stop losses. People don't know where to put the take profits. Well, the stop loss is very easy on whatever time frame it was that you entered. So if you entered on the 15-minute time frame and you had a huge wick like this, right? Your candle looks like that, and the green dot confirms like on this candle. Well, based on the 15-minute time frame, you would have to put your stop loss below that low. Okay, and then you target the high. And if it's a good risk to reward, then it's a good risk to reward in that instance. However, if it's not, if we're getting a cheat sheet entry on the 15-minute time frame, we can generally expect, you know, a much higher move. All right, guys, and as I mentioned before, make sure you join the cheat sheet entry section in our VIP Discord. It is completely free for you to join. All you have to do is send my bot the 4-digit code. The last 2 digits are going to be 18. And that's it. That's really the cheat sheet entry. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask me within the Discord. But that's it for this video. I hope I clarified some questions. You guys are complicating it, and I'm not quite sure why. So if you're still struggling with it, make sure you reach out. But really, that's cheat sheet entries, guys. You can use it for scalping. You can use it for swing trading. It's a very easy to read, very easy 4 conditions that need to be met, and you don't really need any technical analysis for it. So that's it for today's video, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Happy trading.